Hey everyone, Skeletor here, and today we're gonna go over opening cast sequences for Ret Paladins. One of the common things I see get asked, especially in the Hammer of Wrath Paladin Discord, is what opener should I use on boss fights? And you probably heard quite a few different answers, so we're gonna go over a few of them here. One of the biggest contentions with Ret Paladin openers comes down to legendaries, and whether you have the legendary ring, Liedrin's Fury Unleashed. So you see here for this legendary, it's equip. While Avenging Wrath is active, you gain 1 holy power every 2.5 seconds. And this also works when you're using Crusade, and because nobody uses Avenging Wrath in PvE. Now, one thing that isn't made clear about this equip effect is that when you cast Crusade, it actually grants you 1 holy power immediately. So if you went into combat, or let's say you're in combat, you just built up 5 holy power and you press Crusade, you would technically lose out on 1 holy power by pressing Crusade. And some people believe that as a DPS loss, so they've tried to modify their openers. The standard opener for a Paladin was you would start off by using a prejudgment, so when your countdown's going, you've pressed your Divine Steed, you've pressed your prepot. When the countdown's about to be finished, you would press Judgment, and as you run to the target, you would then press Wake of Ashes to get 5 holy power, as long as you have the Ashes to Ashes gold trait, which everyone should. But with the ring here, you're at 5 holy power, you press Crusade, you lose 1 holy power. So a common thing people do instead is they do the same sequence for the most part. They press their Divine Steed, they press their prepot, and then rather than prejudge, they'll use Blade of Justice instead. So they'll run in, press Blade of Justice for 2 holy power, and then what they'll do, they'll press Crusade, so they press Crusade, and then they have 3 right away, and they'll hit Templar's Verdict right away. And then they'll go to Wake of Ashes and do the rotation as normal. So just a very small step there in the opener. And as far as I can tell, at least in the Hammer of Wrath Discord, no one's posted any numbers so far yet of what the DPS difference between these openers would actually be. So I've gone ahead here and played with Simcraft for a bit and modified the APLs to try to give you an idea of which opener would be best. So I'm in game right now, but let me go switch over to Simcraft here. And in Simcraft here, we have 3 different simulations. We have the Blade of Justice opener, the Prejudgment Wake of Ashes opener, and the Prejudgment Wake of Ashes opener with Arcane Torrent. And I'll go over these here. For this is simmed using my own character. It's definitely possible with your own character, if you tried this, your results may be different. But for reference, let me go back in game here. I am 880 eye level equipped. I am very lucky. I have the cape and the ring. And you can see my stats there. I have 30% haste, 27% crit, 6.5% verse, and 18.15% mastery. Back to Simcraft. So on this one, this is for this fight. How long was this fight? I don't even remember. Yeah, so in this fight was simmed for 180 seconds. That's just what I had it set to. And I changed the default iterations from 10,000 to 100,000. And on a 180 second fight, using the Blade of Justice opener, where you use Blade of Justice and then use your Judgment, and then use your Crusade and Templar's Verdict with 3 holy power, it was 612,688 DPS. And we'll just scroll down here. Now, I'm not a simulation craft wizard by any means, so I changed a few things here on the action list to make that opener work, because by default Simcraft won't do that. Simcraft always defaults to starting off combat with Wake of Ashes. But we see here, I'm in the top of the list is auto attack still, and the first priority was Blade of Justice, and I just changed the time to die there. And that just made it so it would cast Blade of Justice first, then it would cast Judgment second, and then it would cast Crusade. And you see here I have Arcane Torrent moved up. There's a reason for that. In Simcraft, it does not appear to account that you gain 1 holy power right away when you press Crusade with the ring. So as far as Simcraft is aware, it looks like that might be a bug. So that might have to have a bug fix filed for it. But to kind of give you an idea of what it would look like, I put Arcane Torrent here, so I'd press Arcane Torrent for that 3rd holy power. So this is just the action table here. We'll scroll down further to the sample sequence table to see how it went. So Flask, Food, Rune, Greater Blessing, Pre-Pot. So auto attack, Blade of Justice. It does cast Shield of Vengeance, you can ignore that though. So Blade of Justice, Judgment, Crusade, my Trinket, and Arcane Torrent all at the same time, and then Templar's Verdict right away. And then the rotation goes on as normal. Nothing else to see there. So that gave us 612,688 DPS. Alright, second opener I have here. This was pre-Judgment Wake of Ashes opener. So on this one, I excluded Arcane Torrent from this. I am a Blood Elf, by the way, so I use Arcane Torrent. But I removed the Arcane Torrent as a kind of a worst case scenario for this. And we can see at the start here that the DPS is already a bit higher. It's at 615,227 DPS. So we'll scroll down here, and for this, it was very easy to get it to cast Judgment right away. In Simcraft, in your action list, there is a pre-combat section. And in the pre-combat section, you can add 1 damaging move. So I added Judgment to the pre-combat to simulate running in and pressing Judgment. So we can see here, we'll scroll down to the sample sequence table. Judgment, auto attack, Wake of Ashes, Crusade, Trinket, and then it goes through the rotation as normal. And that did gain us some DPS there. One thing I want to note is that this Blade of Justice opener, this result isn't entirely accurate. Technically, with this simulation, there is 1 holy power missing because we are using Arcane Torrent to give us that 3rd holy power at the start. We're losing 1 potential holy power gain from Arcane Torrent in that fight. It's not a huge difference, but this would make the overall DPS slightly slower. But the 3rd opener that we have here is the pre-Judgment Wake of Ashes opener with Arcane Torrent. Now, when I have Arcane Torrent with pre-Judgment, as you can see, the DPS there for me is 620,556. So that is a respectable amount higher than the 612,000 DPS there. So a bit over 7,000 DPS gain. So as far as I can tell, now I might have a wrong methodology here. There might be better ways to do this. It does look like the best opener you can use, regardless of having the ring or not, is to use the pre-Judgment Wake of Ashes, then Crusade, and then go about your business. And that's all I had for this video. If you do have any questions about this or concerns or anything, definitely just leave me a comment there and I'll get back to you. Thank you.